Hello, hello. Welcome to 1111 Oracle. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do something a little fun, something a little quirky. We are going to see if you are a star child. Now, I don't want you to take this too, seriously. Take everything with a grain of salt. You always have to check in with your intuition and see if it resonates and makes sense for you. Of course, the other thing I wanted to mention is that there are some options here that are not star child options, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you're better off or worse off if you are a star child or not. It has nothing to do with anything at all. Better or worse does not even come into the equation. So this is for fun. This is just to get a better understanding of who you are, your aura, how you operate, how you function, right? We all come from different places anyway. And we all have our own signature energy, okay? I do not believe that one is more advanced than the other. It is just different. So what are star children? An example of this would be the indigo children, the blue ray beings, the crystal children, the golden children, the diamond children, the rainbows. Okay, so you may be one of those, or you could be an old soul or a light worker and you come from somewhere else. So once again, this is just for fun. We don't want to take this too seriously anyway, since this is a theory developed by humans to put certain high vibrational patterns that we see amongst certain individuals into boxes in order to label them and, sort of identify certain movements or traits within populations. Okay, so we have to remember that this is a theory developed by humans. It's very flawed. It's very misunderstood. As I was preparing the reading, my spirit guides were warning me to please, put out a disclaimer to everyone to say, do not take this too seriously. This is for fun. All right, think of it in a lighthearted way. It'll give you some idea of who you are on a kind of a personality quiz level, okay? But if you want to really know deeper about who you are, then that is your own self-exploration that you need to go into. And of course, whether you are a star child or not, you can be just on your own efforts and practice alone more advanced spiritually than someone else, regardless of who, what, and what they are, right? So we're going to keep that in mind, that this does not determine who we are as being better or less than, and it is just for fun. All right? Okay, so without further ado, I have 10 options here. Some of them are Starchild options and others are not. So the idea, of course, the theory of the Starchild is that if you are one, then you just have a certain frequency, and this frequency will lend itself to a certain color pattern within your aura. And if you have this certain frequency and color pattern within your aura, you're going to have certain abilities or traits that maybe others would not have. But then, like I said, it all evens itself out because we can all learn something from everyone, okay? And yes, let's get into it. I can babble along forever about not taking this seriously, but let's just do this for fun. 1 to 10, I'm going to shuffle just a few cards that I've pulled out to identify some of the star children, as well as other cards as well. So we're going to shuffle these, and 1 to 10. I just have a number for you. I don't have a visual option. Just think, what number are you most gravitating towards, or do you most resonate with? All right, let's start off with number 1. Number 1. Number 1, what I see here, and always go with your intuition first, is that you are not a star child. You are, what I'm getting right off the bat for you, and one of the reasons why you might feel a certain resonance with star children in general. Now, if what I say doesn't resonate with you in turn, feel free to leave it, drop it, and maybe choose another pile, or if you have a combination, then try to see intuitively what that might mean. But if you did choose this pile, what I'm getting is that you are a quote-unquote earth soul. Well, what does this mean for you specifically? For you specifically, what I'm getting is that you are a wise soul. You have had a certain number of lives on earth that have made you wiser than most, that has made you certainly a shoulder to cry on. You're a very strong, emotionally strong person, and you are very connected to the earth, not just in a physical way, but energetically as well, spiritually. You may even get charged, energetically charged and renewed when you do spend a significant amount of time in nature. So I think as far as, choices are concerned with this pile, you might have a varied group within number 1 right here. Certainly some of you do practice earth-based religion. We're talking about paganism and Wicca. You might feel an inkling and a connection to the earth in a very spiritual sense. So this group may comprise of our wise ones, healers, and leaders who are here to guide others. And you are going to guide others in a practical way, in a way to help people figure out what their direction is in life. You do that for others. You're the stable source of calm and reassurance. You're probably the person that a lot of star children wish they had as a parent or some kind of a guide on earth, because you are like, I'm here, I'm going to fluff up your feathers a little bit. You are like a spirit guide on earth for other people who are lost, confused, ungrounded. You help shake people up. You're a no BS kind of person. You remind others of the responsibilities, and you remind others of these things in order to keep them on track because you care. If people do listen to your advice and they do heed the kind of healing that you provide, then they will be all the more grateful for the fact that they listen to you, because you help people achieve their dreams and move ahead in a very concrete way. And you can do the same for yourself, but just make sure that you take that time out for yourself to nurture yourself in that way, because sometimes you don't spend enough time really caring for your own well-being. You'll have a beautiful team of guardian angels around you as well, and I'm getting a lot of you here are earth angels. If you are not, star children, don't worry about that. It's just a silly term at the end of the day. Like I said, this is just for fun. So you might want to look up earth angels. You might have a connection with the angels. Whether you are or you're not, your angel team definitely views you as a kind of earthly guide to other people on this physical plane. And the good karma that you reap in this lifetime is only going to allow you to continue to benefit more and more and more as you grow older in your life. Your life is going to be very fruitful to you and to the beautiful souls around you who are wise enough to benefit from your wisdom. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for joining, and I look forward to reading for you in another video. All right, number 2. Number 2, you are what's known as a crystal child. Oh, and you're a little ungrounded sometimes, aren't you? Kind of bumping into things or dropping things, or it's almost like you have been given this body, but sometimes it's like you don't know how to use it. It's like you're uncoordinated, and sometimes you might find yourself breaking things without meaning to. It's like you're so connected to the universe, you're so connected to source, your spirit guides, etc., that you are not always the most grounded person ever. And it's kind of become the budding joke perhaps for you and your loved ones of, oh, there she goes again, bumping into something or whatever. Or I just did a so-and-so, I dropped the rice on the ground. But for you, it's something that you've maybe learned to laugh off, or maybe you're working on it. What I would recommend is to definitely spend a lot of time in water when you're feeling anxious and when your emotions are just a little too overbearing for you. You're a very sensitive empath. And as a crystal child, you're a little bit self-effacing sometimes. You're very giving to others, but you're a little detached as well in an emotional sense, or at least people perceive you to be slightly detached, even though you're actually very emotionally sensitive. And since you're such a sensitive and powerful empath, you can certainly feel everything around you. But that's exactly why you become detached, because you're so intertwined with the energies around you that it becomes overwhelming and you need to detach. And that's what a lot of people don't understand about you, is that it's because you're so connected emotionally to others around you that you need to just, okay, take a break and have some downtime just to recharge and a little bit clear out your energies. If you think of the way a crystal works, it works to activate and further increase the healing ability, for instance, of the other crystals around it. It also acts as a conduit, all right? We talk about electronics. It can act as a powerful energy conduit. Don't get upset if I didn't get it exactly right. You want to correct me on that. Better how crystals work in electronics. Please let me know. But I know that they are very important. I know that they can help with when we're talking about distributing a certain level of energy, right? So that's what you do. You increase other people's energies around you. Generally, you make other people feel good, although, of course, if someone's feeling a particular negative vibration, you can make them feel bad as well. This is not your fault. This is just the kind of energy that you have. You amplify other energies in the room, and you're a great conduit, right? Spirit can channel very easily through you. All of this makes you kind of self-effacing because you're kind of a container for all the energies around you. It's easy to be out of touch with your own energies, and because you're out of touch with your own energies, this makes you sometimes ungrounded, and your first chakra, your root chakra, might be a little bit on the small side. So I recommend that you spend time in nature, your sacral chakra as well. Make sure that you spend time out in nature, that you go and you create, that you're creative, that you do things that can help you to amplify your intuitive and creative abilities, all while helping you to stay present and in the moment. So a practice of mindfulness would be very, very important for you. But anyway, you're a crystal child. Very, very cool. You can look up more information on crystal children on your own. I don't believe, by the way, that you have to be born in a certain year. I think just like anything, there are trends, but you can be a pioneer. Maybe you came earlier than most of the other crystal children. So you could have been born in the 70s or the 80s or earlier. I don't really look into that too much. We can say maybe there was a certain wave where there were a lot of crystal children that came around supposedly in the 90s or whatever. But you know what, at the end of the day, everyone has a different number. So if this information resonates with you, you might have come early, you might have come later, I don't know. And it's all good. Don't worry too much about the numbers here, right? We're not talking in rational terms right now anyhow. So take what resonates with you. I love doing this reading for you, and I look forward to reading for you in a future video. All right, number three. Number three, you guys are the rainbow children. You may also have a strong connection to dragons, take what resonates, or birds. Okay, birds in particular may flock around you. That's just a random note here. Rainbows, you're just generally based on some of the information that I read, and if it doesn't resonate with you, please let it slide, as this is just, human data collected and probably a lot of bias, right? But human data that I've collected talks about rainbows as just being these newer energy souls with not a lot of karma. They haven't been human for a long time. They come from elsewhere. They are happy-go-lucky, maybe double jointed, may have strong immune systems, may not worry or understand their environment very well, so running around scraping your knees without understanding that, the dangers of the 3D, how we have to be more limited and careful about how we interact with our environment here versus working in a highly high frequency spiritual environment where you don't have to worry about getting hurt and all of that. So you may have this uncanny ability where you're very brave and you're fearless, but you may get yourself into little scrapes literally or in trouble every now and then. You do bring a lot of happiness to others. Now, again, if this doesn't resonate, but you do feel that you are a rainbow child, do your own research and see what makes more sense for you. But yeah, basically, you have this great adventurous spirit about you. You're here to bring a lot of joy into the world. You're here to remind people of their inner joy, of their inner child, and of not being afraid to taking risks and trying new things. You're kind of the example of that. Now, as you go forward in this, brave new world to you, you're going to get some bumps and scrapes along the way. This is only going to teach you how to go around your obstacles and be smarter about moving forward in your path, okay? You don't really let a lot get you down. You have this wonderful ability to just literally, like rubber, it's almost like your body in a way is made out of rubber to a certain extent. You can just literally and metaphorically speaking, bounce back up and get right back into the saddle and, ride your horse to the sunset, so to speak, romantically, in all aspects of your life. You're not afraid to go there. You're not afraid to go there. And I think that that's beautiful. And I think that that's brave. And I would just say, just make sure that you do listen to people's advice around you every now and then, especially if they've been there, done that. They might have something important to tell you. You don't have to just take it and listen to everything everybody says and ignore your own intuition, but take things that others say with a grain of salt, but definitely see if it resonates with you. If it does and you feel a certain truth to it, then you may want to consider aspects at least of what you're being advised, right? So you don't have all the answers, and remember, you're here on earth to learn, and there are a lot of souls here who have been here for much longer than you. You have a lot of wisdom from other places to bring. So there could be a fair exchange here in your life, and that's what you're going to learn as you grow older, is that, there will continue to be a fair exchange between what you can offer and what other people can offer. That just because you have a high vibration doesn't mean that you are more special or anything like that. It just means you're different, and everyone can be unique and different in their own way, and everyone has something beautiful to offer to the table. And what you have to offer is certainly very, very beautiful, rainbow beautiful. And I think rainbows are just wonderful, lovely people with so much beautifully charged energy and positive views of the world. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to connecting with you in another video. All right, so we have got to number 4. Number 4, you're not necessarily a star child, but you are certainly a light worker. Now, the cards here just says, this is my card that I chose for light worker. I don't have more detail, and this group can be as varied as they come. So you can be a light worker that's an earth angel. You can be a light worker even that's a star seed and not necessarily be a star child, right? You just have a different vibration. There's something here that's coming through from my spirit guides to you might be interested in checking out the pink ray beings. That's one option that I didn't pick because I don't know a lot about it, and there are so many different color options really at the end of the day. So don't listen to me or anybody that kind of only offers a limited amount. Listen to yourself and listen to what resonates most with you. Does it make sense that you would be a pink ray being? You may want to look up and see more about it. But whether you are or you're not, you're definitely a light worker. You've come here in this incarnation, whether you're an earth soul or you're not an earth soul, with a very high vibration because of many years of experience and wisdom. You come here to shed light and love to the planet and to help others around you in whatever field that you fall in, whether you are a nurse or whether you're a teacher or whether you're an artist or whether you're a freelance writer. Whatever you're doing, and whatever you aspire to be, you are going to bring passion and hope for others through your field and spread a message of joy and love to others. So as a light worker, you have a very important mission. Please keep in mind that spirit really doesn't care whether you're a starseed or a wise one or an angelic being or an earth soul or a star child. The spirit's like, we really don't care. It's like we just love the variety of beings that are out there. And however you choose to evolve and shed your light, that's all we care about. Wherever you decide to travel and to go to and to do whatever you decide to do with your energy, that is all up to you. So you can be born a certain way, but then you use, your gifts in a corrupt fashion. You abuse them, right? That happens as well. So you are not like that. You're a very humble being. You're a very beautiful, kind soul, and you bring a lot of peace to the people around you, a lot of love, a lot of peace, and people just like being in your presence, in your energy. So like I said, you can be anything. You could be a starseed, you can be an earth soul, you can be an earth angel, or whatever. It doesn't matter in this group. The most important thing is that you are a light worker. So no matter what you are, Spirit says, I don't care. I am blind to what you may look like and your cultural heritage and all of that. Spirit just says, are you willing to shed, light and love and spread a message of peace and joy and healing to others? Are you willing to help change the planet for the better? Yes, then join our team. Then you have an important message. Then we'll call you a light worker. You're part of the family, wherever you are. thank you for coming and joining our team, our Lightworker mission and our Lightworker team. So it's very, very exciting. This is a personal invitation from the universe. I don't know if you felt that, but as I was talking to you, it felt very much like, the universe is speaking through me and my voice. Well, I'm not going to get too egocentric about that one. I'm just humbly grateful that that message wanted to come through. That was a specific message for you, though, an invitation to join the team of the light workers. The universe is very excited. Your spirit team, whatever the universe means, right? The universe, a higher power, your spirit guide, something or other, some message tried to come through, and I'm just passing it along, and you're receiving this beautiful invitation to join this light working team of healers, of visionaries. So very, very, very exciting, this group. And I hope you like the reading, and I look forward to reading for you in another video. All right. So we now have 5. Ooh, very interesting group. Group 5, you are not a well-known group. You are the diamond. You are a diamond child. So this is the Diamond Children group. Here's probably, you might be thinking, what is that? What is a diamond child? That sounds beautifully exciting. Well, it is. And so very interestingly enough, it would seem that the Diamond Children of all the Star Children are much more to themselves. Not necessarily introverted, but much more to themselves and quiet when it comes to having any particular mission. Your mission is an interesting one. Your mission is really to bring, so with a lot of the other star children, you'll have the indigo children that are really making the ruckus and creating the change, and you might certainly have a mixture of energies, of course, if you're drawn to more than one pile. You might instead be, like if you were a crystal child, you're bringing in a lot of healing and understanding to others through compassion, and just sharing that love to the brokenhearted. After a lot of the indigos come in and like break down whatever needs to be broken down to be rebuilt. But with the Diamond Children, you're a lot more of a quiet influence, if that makes sense. Number one, Diamond Children are supposed to be, from my research that I did, but by all means, if it doesn't resonate, then please do your own research or intuit information through tapping into your your third eye and your 7th chakra as well, to get some more accurate information for you. But basically, with the Diamond Children, from what I've read, is that you guys are very, very intellectually inclined. You are like avid readers. You love to get in and learn as much as you can. Your purpose in that sense is really to bring a sense of clarity of perspective. You're like the teacher in a way, the devil's advocate. You kind of act the same way a Libra rising would, where you're always giving the opposite perspective or a different perspective on something. This may get some people annoyed, but the thing is, they just can't win because you're so quiet about you. You don't really care to win in some cases. In some cases you do, I guess, but especially if you're older, you have done all of those, battles where you won and then you didn't win or whatever. So you're as you mature, I feel like your path becomes where you're sort of over the idea of winning. You just want to offer a different perspective to others. So as Diamond Children, part of your mission is very interesting. It's almost just to learn as much as you want to learn. And when we talk about things that you want to learn, really, what is it that interests you? So whatever interests you, learn about that. Learn as much as you want. Learn as much as you can. And then always respect other people's ideas, beliefs. You want to be careful too when you're playing devil's advocate and you're tuning into the right situation to make sure that you don't offend people unnecessarily, but a lot of times I wrote down a little message for myself when I was doing some research on Diamond Children. For you guys, I put down, you're kind of like intellectual instigators. So part of your role is to challenge fixed ideas and concepts that have been around on this earth for a long, long, long time, and possibly are become so fixed that they don't serve anyone anymore. Now, it's not just the fixed ideas. You may just be that person who always offers a different perspective. You always have a different way of looking at things. And so your mission becomes one of offering people different angles of looking at things so that they are able to grow as humans, as spiritual beings, and not be so stuck at their plateau. You know, you help people jump off of their plateau and right onto their paths just by allowing them to, have that uncomfortable moment where they're like, I'm not sure what I think anymore, and that person said this, and now it really triggered me, and now I have to think about it for ages, and now I wish that person didn't say anything because I wouldn't be thinking about this and I wouldn't be so confused. But ultimately those people will be grateful because you liberate them from old modules of being and thought and pattern of behavior, where they can then go forth and really become who they're meant to be. So you have a very important role as this intellectual instigator, but definitely look up some more information on your own. Very, very interesting Diamond Children. I love it. All right. Thank you so much for tuning into this reading, and I look forward to reading for you in a future video. All right. Number 6. All right. Number 6. So I found out on my own that I am also part of this group. This would be the blue ray beings. Now, don't go so much by timelines. Some people say, oh, you know, in a specific time period in history, all of these kinds of beings came in. I don't necessarily think that makes sense, because we can't, you know, time isn't so fixed and linear like that. We know that the universe is a lot more free-flowing. So the blue ray beings are supposed to come in mass during the 70s. And then you have the 80s where the Indigo children came in, right? And then you have the 90s when the Crystal children came in. And these are just generalized timelines for what I think happened, is that there are many beings of a certain kind of frequency that came in during a specific time in order to deal with certain energies, in order to deal and work with certain energies that were going on at that moment, right? So with the blue ray beings, you could be, so I'm not from the 70s. I would be going by timelines. I would probably be considered an Indigo child if someone didn't know and they didn't really know a lot about the different, how it fully works, and that it's not just based on time alone. But when I looked more into this, I started to be confused, and I thought, so this might have been your journey too, where you're like, okay, well, based on the timeline, I think I should be an Indigo child. Yet, okay, well, that doesn't really match. Or maybe you're born in the 70s and you're older, and you may relate to this. But you could be born in the 90s or the 2000s and be a blue ray being. Anyway, then you might have said, after considering an Indigo child, that, well, I must be a Crystal child. That description seems to match me more, yet not quite, not 100%. So let me talk to you a little bit about what I know from the blue ray beings. Okay. Blue ray beings, supposedly you're supposed to have a lot of blue in your aura. You don't have to have a full aura of blue, but there should be a significant amount of blue within your aura. It doesn't even have to be your primary color. So, just a certain vibration of blue that sticks out for some reason within your aura. Now, Blu-ray being is going to be very similar to a crystal child in its disposition. So you're going to maybe have a little bit more of a self-effacing personality at times. You're going to be a little bit more quiet, definitely very introverted. All right, Blu-ray beings are exceptionally introverted because the Blu-ray beings are actually the healers. So think about a hippie. All right, you may identify with this. Think about a hippie. General stereotypical image of a hippie, tree hugging, vegan maybe, and not necessarily, you don't have to match all the checkpoints. Maybe there's an inclination or an interest towards certain checkpoints, right? So, you love nature, and when it comes to Blu-ray beings, these are some of the prime characteristics. Now we can say that that could be for anyone, of course. Let's throw in a couple other things. Blu-ray beings have a very specific psychic ability of being able to transmute energy. So if you are a healer or you're interested in healing and you've always been told that something about you is very healing, that would be all the more confirmation that you're a Blu-ray being. In my opinion, of course, take a look and do your own research. I just realized that this cup I don't want people to have the wrong impression because only a certain letter was showing, but that is my crazy little mug there. Anyhow, so you as a Blu-ray being, you transmute negative energy and you change it into positive energy. You are the healer. More than any of the Starchildren, you are really the prime example of a healer. You have a very powerful, within your Blu-ray energy, there's something called the violet flame, I believe, and that is a powerful conduit of changing the denser energies around you. Sorry, just a moment. I'm going to play the old video again for the background. Anyhow, yeah, a lot of Blu-ray beings are very, very introverted. Very different from Indigo children energy, where you'd be really out there and parading and being an activist. No, Blu-ray beings are not generally going to be the activists per se. They like to do everything from behind the curtains. Okay, you're really kind of the one running the show, because you're making sure that everyone's taken care of and everyone's healed and everyone's feeling good and everything, but you're that quiet influence in the background, helping others to heal, etc., without being at the forefront of the movement or the change, right? If you are involved in some kind of a movement, you might be the one giving out water to people, or food, or doing something kind of quiet, versus leading and having people really talk about their rights in a very public way, right? You're a little bit more quiet, and you need to recharge your batteries a lot, because your energy is constantly, without you even being aware, transmuting negative energies wherever you go. You're always transmuting the space. You're always clearing the space. If you notice that people feel very healed and calm around you, it's for a reason. It's not just because you're a good person. It's because your energy, the vibration that you carry, is very healing, and it draws in, unfortunately, also you have to be careful with any high vibrational being, but especially with you guys, since you are healers, you might draw in a lot of energy vampires, toxic people who just want to use you and take and take and take and don't give you anything back. And these are the kinds of people who afterwards you feel like you just have nothing left for yourself. So you want to be careful with people like that. Just because you're a healer doesn't mean you go out and heal everyone. Okay, that's not how it works. You have to make sure that you take care of yourself first. This is really, really important. But as a Blu-ray being, please know that you have a heightened energy imprint with a violet flame that is known to transmute negative energy and change it into positive energy, which is part of the reason why you might be a little bit more exhausted than others all the time, because your energy is constantly clearing your space and other people's spaces. You are the healer. You are the healer. You especially need your downtime to recharge and to relax. All right, so Blu-ray beings, it's been a pleasure to connect with other Blu-ray beings. And this might feel like a little bit of a relief for you when you find out that you're a Blu-ray being. I know it was for me when I was trying to figure out what I was. I know we shouldn't put ourselves into boxes, but there was something very liberating about finding out a certain aspect of myself, because I didn't really relate 100% to the other kinds of star children. And I knew that I had to be one. I just felt that it resonated very strongly. But when I finally found out that, oh, I'm a Blu-ray, it made sense. Okay, so don't go by timelines, because according to the timelines, I should have been born in the 70s. I was not. I technically should be an Indigo. I am not. I'm a Blu-ray. So you can be a Blu-ray that came later than most of the other souls that decided to come during the 70s, right? You can be even older than, and I don't know why I said it like that. I always have a reverence for age, but I personally think I'm probably a very old soul, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. I hope no one was sensitive about anything age related, just my tone, the way I said it. I didn't mean anything offensive by it. But anyway, yeah. Blu-ray beings. Blu-ray beings. Very, very powerful being. Very powerful. Take care of your energy, please. All right. Thank you for joining. And I look forward to reading for you in another video. All right. We have number 7. Number 7, golden children. So just like the name implies, just like, with our stereotypical understanding of what a golden child is, you are very, very gifted psychically. You are very powerful psychic. You have many, many gifts. You are very powerful in general. You have many talents. Many talents. You may just be a straight A student, or were a straight A student. You may just have very broad ability to just do well in many different topics and subjects. You are similar to a crystal child. I've been reading a lot about it, and it's like you're a variant of a crystal child. But I almost feel with the golden children that you're a little bit more academically focused to a certain degree. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, if that doesn't resonate, but there's a little bit more of less of a receptivity. Like a crystal child might just be receptive to all of the energies around her, him, etc. all the time. Whereas a golden child, yeah, you're going to be receptive to the energies, but you also kind of know when to shut things off. You also know when to put your focus into something else. You're very driven. You have a lot of motivation to get things done. You sometimes are very endearingly called a workaholic. You just like to do things well and get things done well, and you want to manifest your dreams into reality. You want to manifest your dreams and the dreams of others. The way you support your community, the way you support your the people around you on earth, is that you work hard for them. You want to please them, you want them to be happy, you want them to be taken care of, and you also put a lot of effort into trying to bring other people up as well, to understand that each person has golden imprints or golden qualities about them that make them special. So you're a golden child in the sense that, not that you're, and that's where there's a misconception in the earthly plane of, oh, the golden child is, golden child, right? No, gold is not better than crystal, it's not better than indigo, it's just a different frequency, right? It's not better than an earth soul, whatever. Golden child is golden in order to, it's like you have a very good balance between light and dark, and you're not that biased when it comes to different kinds of scopes of understanding. You offer people a balance, and in between. You are like within, if I were to choose a numerological number to associate with you, I would say the master number 22. You are like the master builder. You help build a more beautiful world for everyone around you, and you help them build a beautiful world for yourself. So your energy sort of needs to be golden in order to draw in people to you. It's like you have a master aura around you. Many of you can be ascended masters, or you have a lot of ascended masters around you, but there's something that you're doing that basically is really big and that sort of has this golden shine to it, in order to draw people in, to take you seriously, to regard you as having an important message, to help them out, to help the community out, and you're kind of like that glue to allow others to really go towards their achievements and their dreams, right? You help attach people to the right paths and connect them to where they're supposed to go. So you have a similar kind of nonchalant energy as a diamond child. You're not as in people's faces with your mission of love and light. You're a little bit more about, let me just focus on me, let me build, let me achieve, let me do what I need to do to succeed, and then other people are going to come around, they're going to start to question, they're going to start to wonder what I'm doing. And you don't do this to shine other people, but you do this to bring your loved ones up and your community up. So it's actually quite altruistic. You work for you work for others. You have many gifts in order to benefit many people. It's not a selfish thing. It's not, as humans, we tend to over glorify the actual gift. Well, the gift is great, but now what can you do with it? It's not so much that you have it that's wonderful. What you have is a gift given to you. So take it, use it, and put it, put it to your benefit and other people's benefit as well. So yeah, that was your reading as the Golden Child. That's really beautiful, and I hope you enjoyed the reading. I look forward to connecting with you in a future video. Whoop. All right. And if you are joining me at the interlude here, I'm just getting the mood set. All right, we are ready for number 8. Number 8, you are the Indigo Child. I'm hearing some people say, I knew it. You're an Indigo Child. You are like the divine rebel. You are here to shake and break the foundations and old systems of the past that don't serve us anymore. All right, ignore the timelines. You can be like, but I was born in the 60s, but I still feel very much that I'm an Indigo Child. So be it, Don't worry about timelines of when people were supposed to come in and everything. The way I look at it is that there might have been a influx of many of the same kinds of energies during a certain period of time in order to deal with whatever the political situation was, or the economic situation, or the environmental situation was at the time. But we can have individuals that pop up and appear throughout any point in history. Okay, you could have had an indigo child that appeared in ancient Greece or in the medieval times. Really, don't worry so much about timelines. They mean nothing at the end of the day. Chalk it up to your intuition to get a better understanding of who you are. All right. So, you are an indigo child. You, like I said, you are here to really be an activist, to break down systems that don't serve you or the people around you anymore. You are here to really bring in the light and create a new society on a very structural level. You're here to be like a tower moment in other people's lives, and to just shake things up and make drastic change on a, like I said, a very structural level. So I'm just going to take a sip of my water. Now, we talk about this change. Don't start to, you have to be careful. It's a fine line. Like, think of it, if you have someone knocking on your door with a message, you also have to, as a person knocking on the door with a message, you have to be respectful of the time of day, of what the person is going through, their experience. Don't come in with just the idea that you're here to change things and none of the old tactics work anymore. Well, some things still do. Okay, you got to mix the old and the new, and it would be a little harmful and hurtful to just take away all structural entities away completely to create something brand new. That's not very productive either. When you reinvent the wheel, you're going to create a lot of work for yourself. So you got to be careful of a couple of things. Your message is very important. Your message is very bright. You're going to create a lot of positive change in the world. You're here for a very powerful purpose. But just remember that you do respect others, their timelines, their comfortability with doing things. Sometimes you need to push a little bit, but sometimes you need to know when to step back. So maybe the message of picking your battles is going to be an important one for you. But just know that, yes, you have a very special, important message, one that requires a lot of drive and a lot of energy. And certainly a lot of bravery and courage, but also know for your sake too when to slow it down, take a break, and just ease off for a moment. Because what you're asking, what you're needing to do is very big. It's very, just something that, it's not just like a regular 9 to 5 when you're thinking of what you want to do in your life, right? You have a purpose, you have a broader mission, a broader goal. Certainly align yourself with causes and people that you feel support who you are and that resonate with your energy. But make sure to always keep an open mind to different people's ideas and beliefs and perspectives on your path. But yeah, you are here to be a mover and a shaker. I'm really, really excited to know all of the beautiful changes that you're going to enact on this planet. Of all the star seeds, or I shouldn't say star seeds because you can be a star seed without being a star child necessarily, but of all, and that's a little confusing, I'm not going to get into it today, but of all the star children, we talk about the indigos, the crystals, the diamonds, the golden children, etc., the blue rays, you are the one that is the most of a pioneer out of all of them, right? Well, I shouldn't say that you're the most of the pioneer, because that's not true either. Supposedly there was a wave of blue rays that came before you, but what I'm trying to say is that you really came in or you are coming in and you're creating, like, I almost feel like something going in, like a big machine going into the ground and just breaking apart the ground, breaking apart the tiles, and just completely destroying something that has been old, dilapidated, and corrupt for a long time, and just rebuilding that from scratch. So what you're doing requires a lot of resistance and persistence, and you're going to come across a lot of people who will challenge you, put you down, and that's just because nobody likes change. Once you get comfortable with a certain thing, especially a lot of earth souls, we in general, a lot of people don't like change. You can't just come in and sweep in and say, like, we have to do things completely differently. You're going to scare and intimidate a lot of people, right? So you have to remember that. Watch out for those moments, and just have a little compassion and understanding for where certain people are coming from. It's just fear, and there's nothing wrong with fear. It's just a reaction to certain emotions, or certain experiences, I should say, that may seem threatening. Of course, you're not here to threaten anyone in a negative way, but a lot of people will look at what you're doing as a threat. So just be mindful of that, when you do go out and create such huge change in the world, you are going to create, you're going to make some enemies, okay? That's unavoidable, but that's okay. If you're making enemies for the right reasons, because you're standing up for your beliefs, then just accept that that is part of the package, and you don't have to worry about people like that, as long as you're protected, you align yourself with good people, and you continue standing up for what it is that you believe in order to bring this world to a brighter place. Just want to make sure that you also know when to slow down, when to stop, and when to listen to other people's perspectives as well. But yeah, you have a very important mission. Very, very, very empowering and exciting. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to reading for you in a future video. All right, number 9. What I got is that you're not necessarily a star child, and you could be if you pick multiple options here, but you are certainly from the angelic realms. You are definitely, this group is, you are all earth angels. You may resonate very much with the idea of being a light worker or star child, because you come in with a beautifully heightened vibration. You may have thought, maybe I'm a crystal child. Maybe you are, if you chose that option. But you are definitely someone who has many lifetimes, or significant amount of lifetimes, in the angelic realm. You come here as an angelic being in a human body, and you're really here to bring a lot of divine light into this physical earthly plane. If you're confused about your purpose and your mission, and you think, well, there are a lot of different things that I can do, but I haven't really found an exact mission yet, it could just be that you don't necessarily have one particular mission that is needs to be paired with one particular job posting. You can perform your mission in many different areas of your life. You may have animals coming towards you. You may have children drawn to you. You may do well with, flowers and plants in general. You just have this beautiful presence where beings around you feel cared for, feel nourished, and feel like they can grow and they can be truly themselves and express themselves as who they are. Your life path is about really allowing others to feel nourished, guided, protected, safe, and loved, whether that be your own children, other people's children, if you work as maybe a social worker or a teacher, or if you're a caretaker of some kind, maybe you're even a veterinarian. Your mission is to really bring a lot of this beautiful, angelic, divine life, yes, and divine light into the physical plane of existence. And by bringing that divine light down to earth, you are going to create a domino effect of good deeds and wonderful just blessings, happening for you and for others around you. So your mission doesn't have to be like this huge activist, we're going to go out there and fight kind of mission. That's a certain kind of person. We can't all be like that, because then other tasks would not be able to be taken care of, like taking care of a family. So you are a beautiful, divine, angelic being, and you, whatever you do, choose to do, you bring a lot of love and light to this planet. Divine love and light. Well, thank you so much for tuning into the reading, and I look forward to reading for you in a future video. All right, number 10. Number 10. So what I'm getting is, you're not necessarily Starchild. I got a couple of things. What I'm saying is that you choose to have a combination of different star children energies. So you definitely might have chosen a few. That's for some of you. For others, it's just that it's not so important what kind of star child you are at the end of the day. Spirit is really just trying to say that you're an exceptionally old soul. You have many, many, many past lives. You are definitely, this would be the group that I would consider, whether you think of this as yourself or not. You know, the shamans, the witches, the wizards, the wise men and women, etc., however you choose to identify yourself. And you are someone who has a lot of powerful energy, where you connect powerfully to water and the stars. And both you are connected to, as you know, the concept of as above, so below might really resonate with you, because of your ancient energy. An understanding of the cycles of life, the patterns of the earth, everything. You have a very wise understanding of just the world around you. There's something else that comes through, psychometry. Some of you might be able to touch an object and you have an immediate understanding of, you know, who owned the object before, where the object has been, the stories of the people who owned those objects. For example, like I'm seeing this girl with some earrings that she's wearing. It could be with jewelry that's been passed down. You have maybe some beautiful jewelry that's been passed down. I'm hearing a lot of Native American ancestors coming through with this reading, so you may resonate to Native American heritage of some kind. But yeah, the jewelry, something important, perhaps whether you're a man or a woman, or however you choose to identify. When you receive jewelry, there's some kind of inheritance with jewelry, or an heirloom of something that is passed down from generation to generation. And when it comes to you, whether it had a certain amount of psychic ability or not, it definitely, whatever object you have, absorbs a certain energy of whoever had it before. So a good way to remember people who've passed on is by holding the objects that they hold. We can feel a certain closeness to those objects. There's a certain amount of energy that is left over, right? And we can feel that. So you feel certain energies within objects, and those can help you to stay close to the spirit world. It's very interesting. It's like you're a very physically oriented person, being this someone who uses herbs or objects of some kind in order to really connect with all there is, if you will. So you have a powerful soul. As far as your mission is concerned, I don't think you really care so much about that, or if you do, it will come about naturally. Just keep doing what you're doing is the message that I'm getting, and everything will just sort of fall into place. But yeah, you have strong. You have a strong heart, and your heart energy is very powerful. You are able to manifest what it is that you want towards you. So just keep in mind, more so than any of the other groups, you have, because you're so connected to the energies, to the heartbeat of the earth, essentially, you're able to manifest into the physical that stronger, because you're equally connected to the spiritual and the physical, so you know how to align both energies in order to bring about what it is that you want towards you. So use your manifestation abilities, because those can help you and other people hand in hand, in order to go towards yours and their dream. So thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate that reading. That was fun, wise, and old, ancient soul. I hope you got something out of it, and I look forward to connecting with you in the next reading.